Now, do I even know what day it is? I think it's Friday. It's 12:30, which means we're here, P2P Live, on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn with an employment and jobs market update for Australia. Hi there, my name's Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of People to People in Australia and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. And look, I'm seriously not joking. Sometimes I don't know what day it is. It's because we are here in Sydney. I think we're in week 9 or possibly 10. I'm losing track. But one thing I will say is that everybody's watching in Victoria, you've still got us. I think 119 days, I think you were locked down last year. We're nowhere near that. So hats off to you guys. And I know that you're locked down as well again. So anyway, welcome to P2P Live. What we'll be doing this week is we'll be going through our regular numbers section. Then we'll be crossing to Catherine Kennedy in Western Sydney, who's got, and I'm not joking here, 150 vacancies that need to be filled by Tuesday. So if you're looking for work, she's got some opportunities for you. Then we'll be crossing to Colleen Deere, who will be announcing this month's Temp of the Month for the various states throughout Australia. So and then finally we've got Twitter, our regular Twitter poll, which the results are amazing when it comes to how many dogs should you have in your office. So stay tuned to find out how many dogs people really think you should have in the office. Actually, speaking of dogs, before we move into our numbers section, we've launched on the 30th of August nominations for the very first Oz Top Dog. We've been running this competition in New Zealand for 5 years, and we've brought it to Australia. And what I thought I'd do is, because we've had something like 70 nominations in the first 3 hours on the 30th of August, I thought I'd share a couple of pictures of nominations for Oz Top Dog. Here's Mischief and Ginny. I actually think they look like they're going to get into mischief. And actually, Indy is one of my personal favourites. I probably shouldn't say that. Good thing I'm not a judge, but that's Indy out in the pool. And here's Montana. Now, you can see his Instagram account there is the Great Montana. Man, I wouldn't want to run into him in a dark alley, but if he's wearing that collar, I'm probably thinking, oh, you're okay. There you go. Anyway, so if you've got a dog and you'd like to enter into what I think is the feel-good campaign of the year for Oz Top Dog, Top Dog with a Job, and for People's Choice, make sure you do that. I'll get Jacob, who's our man behind the scenes, to put the link into the comments there. And in terms of the comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, we can see them live. So if you have any questions at all, jump on and we can answer your questions in real time. So now let's move to our regular numbers section. So the numbers this week. Well, if you probably know that the GDP numbers came out this week. And these come out in Australia every quarter. And there was a deep sigh of relief from a lot of people that the GDP numbers for the June quarter were actually positive. I think it was 0.7%, I should say, in the quarter. And you can see the trend there since June 13 as to what the GDP has been doing. And you can see the major decline last year, no surprises there. And then, so the two negative quarters is a recession. So you can see the March and June quarters last year, then the huge rebound and the decline that we experienced. Now, given that we're in lockdown here in New South Wales, Victoria, that the chances of a negative quarter going forward, I should say, for the next quarter, for the September quarter, highly likely it's going to be somewhere in the vicinity, some pundits are saying, of a 5% decline in GDP. And why there was a deep sigh was that the 2 quarters, if this had been negative, then we would have had a double dip recession, but it looks like we have avoided that. So let's have a quick look at how we compare internationally. So if you move to the next one. So here's a bit of an idea of how we're going. And I think sometimes we beat ourselves up, but we're not doing too bad. June quarter real GDP growth, percentage from pre-COVID levels. So you can see that Australia is actually doing quite well, and you wouldn't want to be in the Czech Republic or Spain. So I wanted to share that to say, okay, yep, sure, we're having these wild swings in our GDP, but we're still doing quite well. The last thing I wanted to, and this is a bit of a nerd, so bear with me, a bit of a nerd conversation, but I wanted to bring up Oken's law. Now, the reason I want to do this is that this is the link between gross domestic product, or those quarterly growth numbers, and employment. So what does it really mean? So here we are talking about GDP. What does that actually mean for me when I'm out there looking for a job? So Oken's law, because I know this is such a nerd thing, was actually came into fruition from a professor in at Yale in the 1960s. Arthur Oken was his name. I'm probably pronouncing his name incorrectly. But basically what he said is Oken's law looks at the statistical relationship between a country's unemployment and economic growth rates. So we've just seen the economic growth for Australia in the last quarter. So what does this actually translate? Well, what it says is that a country's gross domestic product must grow at about a 4% rate for 1 year to achieve a 1% reduction in the rate of unemployment. So what that actually means is every quarter when you see that 1%, when you see that growth come through, if it's not 1%, if it's less than 1%, the most likely scenario is that unemployment will rise going forward. Yeah. So if we could just quickly go back to the first graph, Jacob, and I'm putting you on the spot there, not that one, the other one. Yeah, this one here. So if it's less than 1%, unemployment's unlikely to decline. So in each of those quarters. So you can see that since the COVID recession last year, well in excess of 2%, way above 1%, except for this last quarter. So that's where we were experiencing that big lift in the number of vacancies and the shortage of candidates and all those issues we've been talking about on P2P Live. That's what we've experienced. So this number at 0.7% is less than 1. We're going to see an increase. And next quarter, with a negative in GDP growth, we're going to see the labour market ease up a little bit as well. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you as to give you a little bit of idea of why some of these numbers have an impact on the employment market, and why it's interesting if you're a job seeker to keep your eye on those type of things as well. Righto, let's move on. So let's now cross to Catherine Kennedy in Western Sydney. Before we do that, though, whilst we get all that set up, here's a video from Amy Burton in our Melbourne office, who's got a legal opportunity she wants to talk about.
Hi, it's Amy from P2People's Melbourne legal team. We are recruiting on behalf of a national law firm that have several opportunities available due to expansion. We are looking for legal assistants to join them across the tax, IP, IT, and construction teams. They do not require any particular experience within these areas to be considered, so if you have any proven legal support experience and would like to work within a highly regarded law firm that can offer flexible working, please express interest by giving me a call on 9098 7433.
G'day, Kath. How are you?
Hello, very well, thank you.
How's the Blue Mountains? How's the Blue Mountains today?
Sparkling today. I'm sitting right near my window and it's this beautiful breeze coming through. I've got the arms out today. It feels very spring. So yes, lovely.
I'm wearing a jumper because I haven't ironed my shirt, but don't tell anybody. And this is what COVID does. I mean, seriously, I don't know what day it is. I'm not ironing my shirt. It's all I'm falling apart. But that's not what we...
I don't know if I should make this confession on this broadcast, but I was known the other day to iron just the front because I knew that no one could see me. I had a business shirt and I thought, oh, no one's going to see the back, so I just ironed.
Yeah, classic. Yeah. All right. Okay, well, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this extraordinary opportunity where we've had one of our clients call us and they're looking for 150 people.
It is 150. Yep. So, and I've been in the recruitment industry a long time. I don't think I've ever known there to be a call that is for 150 people to start so quickly. But they genuinely do need that many people. So we're looking to have at least 100 start on Tuesday, and then there'll be another intake that will start on the Thursday next week, so just to allow for training. In terms of the requirements, the roles are based in Western Sydney, so they're based in the Fairfield area. It's working for a big Australian business that everybody would know. They're in the online retail and e-commerce space, and they're just they've been very, very busy lately. So what we're looking for is people to go into their warehouse and pick packing. So there's no particular experience that candidates need to bring. They're really open to consider people with a wide range of backgrounds and experience. I know a lot of people have found themselves out of work for different reasons at the moment for a short period of time. So the criteria that we do have, though, so there's a couple of specific requirements the client has set. So one is that you will need to have had at least one COVID vaccination. So that is a requirement that's been set from the client. So we need candidates to be able to have that and to have proof of that to be able to present when required. You also need to have working rights. That's something that we would need to be able to verify as well. And you'll be provided with all of the PPE equipment and high vis, etc. But you will need to have safety shoes or safety boots. So that's a requirement that we would need people to bring as well. We've got a couple of different shifts, and you can really choose the shift that works best for you. So they range from 5 a.m. in the morning, so that's a 5 till 3 shift, right through to midnight, so a 4 till 12 shift, and then there's also a shift around the middle of the day from 7:30 until 3:30. So you can choose the shift that works for you. Pay rates are between about $27 to $30 an hour, just depending on what shift you're doing, and there's penalty rates, etc., that are included there. So we're looking for, as you said, 100 people for Tuesday, another 50 for Thursday. So if you're watching, if you're looking, if you know someone who might be looking, we're very, very keen for any referrals, and we're moving very quickly to get this booked in. So please reach out to us. Hopefully Jacob can put the details there. Yep, that's my direct details. So you're welcome to contact me, or it's also advertised on our website, and we've got it's all over social media as well.
I can see that Jacob has actually put the link to the actual job on our website in the comments. So jump on there if you're interested, for sure. I was having a quick chat to the manager of our supply chain management team, Mark, before we jumped on live, and I think he said that he's in the vicinity of 80 people have confirmed. So we've still got quite a few spots that we need to fill over the next little while. So. I think it's a Tuesday start. Is that right?
Yeah. So the first intake will be a Tuesday start, and then there'll be another intake on the Thursday. So by Thursday, we really need those 150 people to be onboarded. So in terms of the shifts that people opt to do, we're actually also open to people working part-time. The one caveat would be your very first day will need to be a Tuesday or a Thursday, because that's the days that we're doing training and induction. So, but you could then choose to work, Wednesday, Friday, for example, moving forward.
And I know there's been a lot of questions around getting those safety boots and where do you start with that? But they're actually quite freely available, yeah?
Yeah, they're relatively easy to get from places like, not that I'm brand neutral, but places like Kmart, Aldi, Big W. You can usually pick a pair up for about $30 or so. Obviously, with the current situation, my suggestion would be if you need to get them, you order for a click and collect to go and then collect them over the weekend.
Yep, so I don't think that'd be a problem. So that shouldn't be a restraint to you checking this out, giving us a call, applying online, responding, or even just popping a comment in. We can certainly follow through with you as well.
And what I would say is it doesn't matter what your experience is, and even if you've been mainly working in a corporate office, but if you just want to get some work over this period of time, you're not lifting anything terribly heavy. It's a very clean environment. So really
it's a 1 month commitment, initially.
Yeah, 1 month initially. There's a strong likelihood that there could be continuing work after that, but what we'd ask for is just that 1 month commitment from the outset. So that's that.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I'll let you enjoy the beautiful day in the Blue Mountains, but thank you for joining us again today. And let's now cross to Sydney, where we'll have a quick chat to Colleen Deer, and she's got the Temp of the Month winners. G'day, Colleen.
Yes. How are you?
Oh, look, I'm bald and I'm a little bit overweight, to be honest. So, but thank you for asking.
It's Friday. The sun is shining in Coogee anyway, so we've come over east.
Yes. Now, before we jump into the Temp of the Month, I know that you're the specialist consultant in our temporary and contract legal team. How's the market for you right now?
We're busy on the contract side of things, particularly in legal. So we do have requirements for immediately available candidates, but particularly contracts. I'm working on quite a few parental leave roles. So as you know, they're still required and still needed. And it's interesting when I just watched Amy's video in Melbourne, where you don't particularly need that area or practice area of law experience. It's quite similar to what we're seeing here in Sydney. Previously,
It's freeing
you
up a
have to
bit,
have
people a
that.
bit more.
Yeah, which is good because we are looking at other areas of law for these contract roles. So, in previous years, you'd have to have that, that particular area. So we're open to areas from corporate backgrounds, insurance backgrounds, and they're all, onboarding remotely. So that's where we're really seeing our busy periods.
Okay, cool. Excellent. All right. Well, over to you then in announcing this month's Temp of the Month.
Yes, so we enjoy doing this to really thank our temps. So we've got a couple of nominations for Sydney to start off with. We actually have 2 people. So first up, we have John Rixon. So a couple of comments here. He's reliable and honest and such a pleasure to work with. His approach to his work is always methodical, and his attention to detail is like something I've never seen before. So really great comments. Our second nominee then is Alison Fisher. Alison is praised for having such a wonderful attitude, always calm and positive. Her skills are excellent and is really managing a difficult situation well. So the winner for Sydney is John Rixon. So congratulations. John. Next, we will look at our Brisbane nominees. So we've got a few. We actually have 3 people here for Brisbane, which is great to see. First of all, Danielle. So Danny has only been with us 2.5 weeks. One of those was during shutdown. A really quick learner, team player, and always willing to help and take on more work. Lorraine has been commended for her fantastic and can-do attitude, a real quick learner, bright and bubbly. And then we have Alexandra doing an outstanding job and slotting into the team really, really well. We've actually had joint winners for Brisbane. So both of those are Danielle and Lorraine. So congratulations to both of you there. Next up, I think we have Perth, I believe. Yes, so the winner there is Alistair. So Alistair won for being onboarded and upskilled really, really quickly and really forming relationships with the wider team. So congratulations to you, Alistair in Perth. Next up, we are going to Wellington, which is our first nominee for our Wellington branch, which is amazing. And Vicky Wogan. One line here, Vicky Wogan is a legend. So congratulations to you in true Kiwi style. And then we have one more branch, I believe. And this winner is for Philip Rees in Parramatta. So congratulations. Again, punctual, hardworking, and has a real customer focus. So well done to all of you. And we love doing this segment, every month, and it really showcases how proud we are of our temps that we have working for us. So thanks again for all of your work.
And just so for everybody that knows is that the way this works is that when there's this is not selected by any of the staff at P2P at all.
No.
It's actually driven by our clients. When the timesheets are approved, there's the opportunity to nominate people in each of the states, and so these are the nominations and the winners selected by our clients. So it's very cool that if you're nominated or you win, you're doing a good job. So and making us look good. So thank you very much.
It's amazing.
Rightio. Thanks, Colleen. Now, just before I let you go, then, if somebody wants to, let's say they've got legal, how do you get in touch with? How do they get in touch with you?
That would be great, actually, because we really need candidates from all levels, all areas of law. So my details, I'll call out my direct line here, actually, and you've got them on screen. Please reach out, give me a call, send me your resume. Even if you're watching and you don't particularly have legal experience, but you know somebody in the market, please refer details. We always love referrals as well, but we're recruiting for secretary positions. We actually even have a HR role with legal experience. So really across all areas, and just jump on our website and have a look at what we have advertised.
Great. I can see that Bianca, who's the manager of our contracting division in Sydney, has put a comment on Facebook. Well done to all the winners. John Rixon, go you.
John.
Thanks, Bianca. And thanks, Colleen. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. Okay, great. All right. So let's now move to the couple of things. And I'm hesitating here a little bit because I'm so surprised with the results of this. So this is the results of last week's Twitter poll. So how many dogs would you allow in your office? Now, 50% of Australians, at least on Twitter, where we did this poll, and we're talking like not 2 or 3 people who voted, we're talking in the vicinity of 500 people that voted here. 50% of those people said, yeah, no, we're a pack. Let's have 3+ dogs in the office. The only thing I'm going to say there is that smell. Like, who's cleaning that up? That's all I'm going to say. But only a quarter said that they didn't want any. Now, interestingly, in New Zealand, they didn't want quite as many, but it was still 43% in New Zealand wanted a pack of dogs in the office. So I don't know where all of that's going and where that trend's going to end. But so very interesting and very much fun in terms of dogs in the office and relevant for our Oz Top Dog competition as well. So this week, though, and the reason I wanted to ask this question was that when we're making a lot of calls at the moment to get in touch with people specifically around these 150 vacancies in Western Sydney, and no one's answering their phone. So here's the question for this week. Do you answer your phone when someone calls? Yes, only for friends and family, only for a scheduled call, or no, I prefer a message. So let's see what the Twitterverse says about this, because our experience at the moment is no one picks up their bloody phone. It's just very frustrating, particularly when we've got so many vacancies to fill. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of the broadcast today. Actually, I just wanted to remind everybody about Aidan Boast's Ask a Recruiter series. We'll make sure we get a link to that, to Aidan's profile on LinkedIn, and we'll pop it in the comments later. So if you've got any questions specifically about the recruitment industry or recruitment, he was on P2P Live last week. And he answers a question each week online via video. So jump onto that. Now I thought I'd leave you with a video of last year's New Zealand Top Dog winner. Once again, it's a bit of a feel-good thing, but I'll leave you with that, and I'll see you all next week, 12:30 on P2P Live. See you then.
I'm Amanda Fraser-Jones, and this is Jagger. So Jagger is turning 10 next month, and he is a pit bull mastiff. He's an ex-rescue dog. Jagger is different from any other dog because the work that he does with rescues that come in our house, our foster dogs, and just his ability to show them that it's all okay. Humans don't speak dog. Dogs speak dog better than anybody, and just the way he is with dogs is incredible. Dogs are amazing for mental health. They teach you to live in the moment. We all spend our times overthinking, worrying, thinking about what's happening in the future, worrying about the past. And dogs teach us to just live in the moment and have fun and just be a part of life right now, be present in life. I felt really good winning the competition last year. I absolutely did not expect it. The calibre of people who had entered was amazing in dogs. So not for a moment did I expect to get anywhere, really. It's really nice to have a dog that does such amazing stuff for our rescues. So to have him get recognition for that was really awesome. I think Jagger's probably ready to give the crown to a new winner. However, he would really like to keep his cup because it makes a really good dinner bowl.